What's up, people? It's time for yet another Rauta beer review. But today's band is not exactly the stuff I'm most fond of, in band-wise that is. So I'm kind of a proud and not so proud to present you Sonata Arctica Arctic Lager. Now, I don't know exactly where to start from, so I just keep going in the way I can do. Improvise a lot and let my brain flow with these thoughts and stuff. So, Sonata Arctica is one of the kind of bigger Finnish metal names, but their style of power metal and whatnot is not exactly my cup of tea. But I'm a fan of beer, so I don't care about what band does which, as long as the outcome is awesome, or at least good. And this brewery, Tornion brewery, Tornion panimo, what's it's called? Well, I've been tasting their beers, quite a few, at least a few at that is, and they managed to do very good beer earlier. That is like a year ago when I was tasting it. But I'm not a fan of lagers, though yet again it brings me to the question, can this one be good? I don't know, but let's start with opening the can. And we get this kind of Arctic sweetness coming up. Well, not sweetness, it's just lager, you know. Well, so let's pour this baby into this glass by another Finnish brewery. In fact, the one that actually did amorphous lager. This is very chilled, actually refrigerator cold, that is. And as you can see, this baby foams a lot, so I feel like taking the first sip straight out of the can because, well, that's a kind of a lager thing to do. So, redneck or not, let's just enjoy it while this kind of calms down. And what an uncommon taste for lager this is. Make no mistake, this tastes like lager. Surely it's lightweight, it's refreshing. It's easy, but this baby actually holds a punch inside. Inside that I mean, even though this is just, your average 5.5 lager, which is in many countries considered strong beer, this is no ordinary lager. I'm talking about those big names that everybody knows, like Heineken, Carlsberg, and you know that stuff. This is a different breed. I was expecting the worst, so kind of a 2 out of 5 typical lager, which is just having this band logo on it. But in fact, this little Arctic baby is quite different breed of an animal. So the thing here is, it kind of gives you the impression of being typical lager, just like kind of the tasteless stuff, which is great if you're, I don't know, coming from a endurance running, sauna, maybe some barbecue, or maybe you're just up for drinking and you don't just simply care to taste so much. Me then again, call me beer hipster if you will, beer enthusiastic or just whatever, but I like my beer like with quality, that is with some taste, personality, the kind of a feeling that gives me the feeling that I'm just enjoying something good, not just some tasteless, brainless, bore ass drinking. And this just manages to be something different, especially when we're talking about lagers. As you can see, now that we just clear this glass a bit, it's very typical lager-like, very golden, transparent even. It's not one of those pale ales and India pale ales, which sometimes are really clear and sometimes they're kind of like mushy and all that stuff. But this is just, typical lager. But the thing here is, and this is by the way my second can, so in fact I'm kind of cheating in this respect of this video. This is not my first one. I get 2 cans of this baby and I was positively surprised with the first one, which I didn't enjoy as cold as this one, if I remember correctly, that is. Anyhow, the trick with this Sonata Arctica Arctic Lager by Tornion Brewery is that this actually has some hoppiness, which is not very common for lager beers. Like I said, most stuff are just, easygoing, kind of a thirst quenching pieces, which doesn't leave you a memory or recollection whatsoever what was the taste like. You probably said, well, it got me drunk and it's all that matters. If you look at stand-up comedians, you get the idea. But this one actually has some kind of a flavor. Surely it's not the strongest of them all. It doesn't last in competition versus small, more hoppy India Pale Ales and whatnot. But in fact, this Arctic lager is enough to kick ass of so many pale ales or especially other lagers, which are just too easy, too lightweight for their own good when it comes to taste. Now, make no mistake, this is still a lager, so in fact, you can pretty much enjoy this the same way as any lager. That is, if you're one of those beer drinkers who just want to have their beers kind of fresh, cool, and easy to just enjoy, but this gives you the actual feeling that there might be a whole different world outside there, yet kind of have the structure of this lager beer. So kind of a best of both worlds kind of thingy. Some hoppiness, some kick, some edge in the taste, and still have the freshness, the easygoing lagerness, which is so typical with most beer in the world. So don't mind if you're not Sonata Arctica fan, because I'm certainly not, but I like this beer a lot. So should I give some numbers? Maybe 4 out of 5. This is 1/3 of a liter can, 5.5 percentage, and really delicious for being a lager. Taste it or break it. If that doesn't make any sense, who cares? Cheers!